Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and we actually have some big time news when it comes to the NBA world. Take this report with a grain of salt, though, because this isn't a Shams, this isn't an Adrian Wojnarowski, this isn't a Chris Haynes, this isn't an Ian Begley. This reporter is really hit or miss, and it's not coming by a New York Knicks source, or it's not coming from a New York Knicks source. It's not coming from someone you could really rely upon. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he is wrong. And obviously, we know the New York Knicks, their top option is attracting or going after a Jalen Brunson. We hired his father of Rick Brunson. He's on our coaching staff. We're trying to really get him to become a member of the New York Knicks. We're trying to free up a lot of cap space. We still have to move on from Noel. We still have to move on from Alec Burks in order to free up cap space as well. I think Jalen Brunson's a good player. Is he worth the amount of money we're trying to give him? We honestly won't know until he plays in a New York Knicks uniform. But in my opinion, no, he would improve our team though, no doubt about it. But I honestly think this player that we're going to be getting into will put us in a good position as well when it comes to the point guard position, or he'll definitely be an upgrade when it comes to the point guard position. Some people honestly think he should be the plan A as ahead of Jalen Brunson, especially after hearing reports. There's mixed reports. There's mixed opinions. Some people like him, some people don't like him from the New York Knicks. Some people prefer Jalen Brunson. Some people prefer starting Emmanuel quickly. We're still looking for that answer at the point guard position. But if this report is true, the New York Knicks should definitely explore this. I'm not sure if they're going to get this in return, but I give credit to Leon Rose for really putting us in this position for trades like this, because these trades were going to become available with draft capital. But at the end of the day, it comes down to executing this trade if you are interested in this type of trade on, like, when it comes to this offseason. So the report's by Jake Fisher, and the report says the Spurs would want 3 first round picks in return for Dejounte Murray. And obviously we went on to receive first round draft picks on draft night, but they are protected. I'm really interested to see how the Spurs will really value those picks if we do get into heavy discussions with them. Let's say we strike out on Jalen Brunson and we're very interested in a Dejounte Murray. And plan C would probably be going with the youth of starting Emmanuel quickly. I know a lot of people have them in different order there, but credit to Leon Rose for receiving draft picks for positions like this, or these opportunities that, like, maybe he knew an opportunity was like this was going to happen. So I give him a little credit there, but it also comes down to actually executing the trade at the end of the day. And we don't know how much these picks are really valued around the league as well. Maybe they're a lot of value. Leon Rose thinks they're a lot of value, but maybe to the 29 other NBA teams, they don't really value them much, especially when it comes to a player like this. But a lot of you guys are probably wondering, like, I don't know the true answer of this, so it's a lot of just thinking and just like predictions. Why would the San Antonio Spurs even be trying to trade DeJounte Murray? Maybe it's because he came off an All-Star year, the best year of his career. This the highest his value will ever be, or potentially, unless he continues to get better and he expands his range even more. And just like they want to see what his value is. Maybe, but Dejounte Murray obviously was one of the main reasons they were very competitive. Went to the play-in, but obviously Jakob Poeltl had a pretty good year. Keldon Johnson had a good regular season. You got to see a lot of progression from the young guys like Lonnie Walker. We'll see what Josh Primo does moving forward for the Spurs, but they have an interesting future because I think they have young players. But you could say maybe the Spurs are like, we need first-round draft picks in return because we're trying to get pop, high upside type of talent. But I do like Jeremy Sochan. I do like Malachi Branham for them moving forward. But again, you don't know if this report's like truly real. But let me know down below if this report is real. Should the New York Knicks do this without hesitation? Because the Knicks received like draft picks, first round draft picks on draft night. But again, it comes down to how the Spurs really value them. So, no doubt about it, Murray's a very good basketball player, and he's pretty young. He's 25 years of age. He came out of Washington, and he just burst onto the scene this past year. He's always been a good player, but he literally played like an all-star this past year and really put that Spurs team on his back when it came to all categories: defense, leadership, scoring the ball, getting big-time buckets and big-time moments, even though you could say he kind of underachieved when it came to the play-in. But when you take a look at his all-star year of his numbers, he went on to average 21 points per game, 9.2 assists per game, 8.3 rebounds, 2 steals, 46.2% from the field, 32.7% from 3, 79% from the free throw line, and 34.8 minutes per game. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, how's the fit? Obviously, it comes down to Tom Thibodeau's system and his willingness to adjust. Are we going to play a slow, grinded out type of offense with Dejounte Murray in it. Even though I think he could play at all types of pace, like the game isn't too fast for him. He plays at his own pace. He plays very fluid out there on the floor. He's a crafty ball handler with good hesitations. He has very long arms to get to the rack. He's 6'4", or they label him as 6'4", but he looks taller to me. Maybe it's because of his wingspan, and he's a very lanky guy, but he's 6'5", 180 pounds. If you want to round it up, or you could say 6'4", 180 pounds, but he's a nearly 7-foot wingspan. So when you have that combination of craftiness, creativity, off the bounce, hesitation moves, and then you have a long wingspan, it definitely helps him out around the basket. And he's developed his game even more to getting to that pull-up mid-range shot. Yes, when you heard his percentage of not shooting it well from beyond the arc, that was actually an improvement though, where he's kind of improved from beyond the arc, shooting 32.7% from three. That's still not the greatest though, so there could be a big time question mark when it comes to the consistent spacing in the New York Knicks starting lineup. RJ's gonna have to get back to maybe not shoot that fantastic, like over 40% like he did when it came to his second year, because he was in a different role. So he's gonna have an expanded role, obviously, year after year of shooting more off the bounce. I'm not expecting him to get back to that, but there's gonna have to be more consistent spacing in the lineup. Fournier's still gonna be starting. We'll see what Randle does if he reigns in not shooting as many threes. Like it's gonna be an interesting fit with Julius Randle as well, but I actually think he would put him in a better position when it comes to his dribble penetration, finding guys cutting outside on the perimeter, because he does a really good job catching defenses on his heel, but on their heels. But getting back to his three-point shooting, I don't think his form's awful. Sometimes he could leave it flat though. Sometimes he could put too much arc on the ball when he's shooting it. But I'm not like some scout or anything. That's just things that I've really noticed when he's shooting the ball and shooting 80% from the free throw line, getting there like 3.4 times a game, or nearly 4 times a game. You would think he would get there more though and draw more fouls. Someone that really likes to dribble penetrate, and he's an athletic guard. So maybe you'd like to see him get to the free throw line a little more. But shooting 80% from the free throw line shows you have pretty solid touch when it comes to floaters, sometimes baby hooks around the basket, just straight up using his dexterity around the rim with his left and right hand, just having these long strides in transition, because he's going to get out in transition a lot. This is someone that likes to get out and run, and I could see him really thrive with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, I feel like we haven't really seen him be played fully throughout his strengths with the New York Knicks of consistently getting out and running, because the first year under Tom Thibodeau, there was slow, grinded out offense. Then you see the decrease of Julius Randle's game in the second year. We still haven't had a true point guard to really put RJ Randle in the position to be successful, or even an Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin likes to get out and run. RJ Barrett likes to get out and run. So I think that would actually be absolutely beautiful with Dejounte Murray's game. Yes, there's a lack of consistent floor spacing, but he likes to attack the basket. He knows how to set up his teammates. He averaged nearly 9 assists per game. This dude is literally a triple-double threat. He's hungry out there on the floor. He loves to rebound the ball. He just tries to win. He always gives it his all out there on the floor. But obviously the best part of his game is his defense. His footwork is absolutely unbelievable. There's a huge level of versatility when it comes to his defense. He can guard multiple positions. He's a very long wingspan, which helps him in the passing lanes, averaging 2 steals per game, which allows him to get out and run, and which also gives the New York Knicks chances at easier buckets, because we see how stagnant our offense can be. So Murray's momentum on the defensive side of the basketball could lead to momentum on the offensive side of the basketball. But you could dish out the basketball, make advanced reads, drive down the lane. Tremendous defensive player. This dude, you love his story as well. He overcame a lot of adversity as well when he was younger, just seeing him at the top, and we wouldn't be paying him a lot of money, but at the end of the day, we'll see if this report's truly real when free agency or when the offseason continues to go along, and how much the Spurs really value these picks. But I really do like Dejounte Murray as a basketball player. I really believe he's continuing to get better. We'll get to see his ceiling as a three-point shooter, but he could play in the half-court setting. He could play in transition. Tremendous defensive player. We know Tibbs loves defense. Let me know down below your thoughts on Dejounte Murray. Do you think he should actually be the plan A ahead of Jalen Brunson? He played under Greg Popovich, a strict coach, but also he knows when to, he's really, progressed as a coach, Greg Popovich, when it comes to, relating to players, not as a player, but knowing when to take it easy on certain players, because certain players have different personalities. So he knows how it is to be coached hard, and he doesn't have crazy bad habits, which Tom Thibodeau will like, a more disciplined type of player at the point guard position. But yes, do you think the New York Knicks should honestly go out there and trade for Dejounte Murray? Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all.